What the heck, America? Why are we still celebrating Columbus Day? I have no idea. We are taught in school that we celebrate Columbus Day because he discovered the Americas. In actuality, he didn't discover the Americas. There was already millions and millions of people here already. Children textbooks in school leave out all the horrific atrocities committed by Christopher Columbus. Why do the Americas celebrate and glorify a day of a man who was evil? It doesn't even make sense. Christopher Columbus was a dishonest and greedy mass murderer. He was a torturer and a rapist. He enslaved native people and forced them into Christianity. He was a slave trade owner who set up a pedophilia sex slave trade. A lot of people say, well, we know that Columbus wasn't the first person here, but he was the first foreign person here. Not true. The Vikings came here in about 1000 AD, and they went to Newfoundland, Canada. Millions of people celebrate Columbus Day, yet it's one of the most darkest chapters in American history. It's interesting that people in North America celebrate Columbus Day when he never actually set foot here. He actually landed in the Bahamas. His voyages took him to the Caribbean islands, South America, and Central America. Unlike popular belief, Christopher Columbus did not set out to prove that the world was round. There was no reason to debunk the theory that the earth was flat because the ancient Greeks already did that. Let's get real here. He was actually looking for a faster route to Asia. When he landed in South America, he actually thought he was an Indian and started calling the native people Indians. That's why natives today are referred to as Indians. Don't even get me started on that. On his very first voyage, Columbus sent natives to Spain to be sold as slaves. Most of them died on these voyages. To this day, he has the record for the most native slaves sold to Europe by one individual, which is over 5,000 native people. Columbus never actually found the large amounts of gold he was looking for. He turned to slavery, hoping to make a profit from that instead. When slavery wasn't lucrative, he demanded that every Taino native that was over the age of 14 fill a hawk's bell full of gold every 3 months. If they brought the gold, they weren't punished and they were safe for another 3 months. If they didn't bring the gold, their hands were chopped off and their dismembered hands were worn around their necks as punishment. On Columbus's second trip to the New World, he brought cannons and attack dogs. He set up a sex slave trade where most of the girls that were in demand were between the ages of 9 and 10 years old. Yeah, Columbus was a rapist. Those who refused had their ears and noses cut off. His global sex trafficking business shipped indigenous children all around the world, and many of them died en route. He brought disease to the population and enslaved them. When any native people resisted, they were killed and their dismembered body parts were paraded through the streets. If slaves tried to escape, they were burned alive. Or he sent attack dogs after them and they were torn limb by limb while they were still alive. When Spaniards ran out of meat to feed their dogs, they killed native babies. The native babies were turned into dog food. The Taino people suffered so badly that they resorted to mass suicide rather than live under Christopher Columbus's torture. Before 1492, the population of the island of Hispaniola was around 3 million people. Within 20 years after Spanish arrival, there was only 60,000 people left. Within 50 years, not one native inhabitant could be found. They were all wiped out. Let's stop the celebration of a man who is a rapist, a mass murderer, a torturer, and a slave trade owner. Stop brainwashing kids and telling them that Columbus is a courageous hero who discovered the Americas and not disclose the full truth of who this man really was. Evil.